Hi, my name is Natalie and welcome to my channel, Knitting-a-GoGo, and today I wanted to talk about an in-person event that I recently did with Small Flock Yarns last weekend, which was the Findon Sheep Fair, which is based in Sussex, in Findon, in West Sussex. So it's a village festival that takes place once a year in September, and there are lots of fun things there, from sheep judging to sheep demonstration, farmyard circus, fun fair, Morris dancing, barn dance, lots of live bands, food stalls, lots of things. And they also have stalls on there as well, with exhibitors selling their wares, ideally local Sussex produce and all sorts of different things, which it was ticking from a Small Flock Yarns perspective, being that it's British wool, predominantly British wool. It's Sussex based and it's all reared, sheared and spun within a 25-mile radius in Sussex. This particular show was just ticking all the boxes for us to do as an event. So this would be our second in-person event, because we officially launched Small Flock Yarns in July at the Carry On Crafting Festival event that was also in Sussex when that took place in Ardingly at the South of England showground. So I was very excited about doing this show with my husband, again just to gauge the interest and get the awareness out there of our wool that we're getting produced. So the preparation before the event wasn't too much to do, because everything's pretty much pre-packed anyway. I'm lucky I have a studio space with a storage area where I can store all the wools nicely, so they're all boxed, so it was all pretty much good to go. There wasn't a lot of work on my part to do, apart from obviously moving the stuff to transport it all to the fair. It was also just on the Saturday, so it wasn't a whole weekend event like the Carry On Crafting Festival was. So I didn't necessarily need as much stock. The Poynings wool we're nearly sold out of now, but we still had some of the diamond flock and also the Wallace and diamond flock, the brown and the grey wools I've shown in previous videos if you'd like to see those, if you've not already. And we are currently waiting a new batch from Roger of some more of our Poynings flock from their second shearing this year. And because it is just Roger and a part-time lady that comes in a couple of times a week, the turnaround time it does take time, you know, and it's a cottage core industry, so it is literally all about just taking your time. It's a nice slow process. It's nothing's to be rushed. It's all very, very lovely and calm and not fast, and yeah, it's just sustainable. It's just really nice. So it's fine. We had enough for the day, plenty of wool of the others as well, and luckily had some Poynings left. And you know, we'll get our batch at some point from Roger. That's fine. And he does such an amazing job with the spinning. Everyone that so far has seen the wool in person has commented to me they can't get over the softness of it, and the worsted spun, how soft this particular wool is that we're getting produced, and how lovely it is, and so really nice. And Roger, he just has this real knack of doing the spinning in such a refined way, it just looks amazing. And because of that, he's super popular, so he is in high demand for having various fleeces spun there by him, because he is so good at that process of doing really good high quality wools for hand knitting. They are amazing, and I'm so glad that we have him practically on our doorstep in Sussex. I'm very fortunate for that. So last week, the only real stress I think I was feeling was the weather wasn't looking great. It was looking like 80 to 90% rain forecast, and I thought, and we were outdoors, we couldn't get an indoor stand because we applied late because of the official launch in July. So I was thinking, oh no, what's it going to be like? I mean, luckily we had a gazebo anyway, that I used to use in a previous embroidery business I used to do when I did outdoor events, so that was fine. We had a gazebo ready in place to go, but we just didn't know, a new show, new event, not sure where we may be placed. So yeah, that was my only concern, was the footfall, the attendance. Would people, it's an outdoor event ultimately, will people even go? So that was my only reservation about the show, and I'm sure a lot of people who were also doing the event maybe felt the same way. It's going to not be pleasant for people if it's absolutely full of rain, ultimately. And are they going to be looking at the stalls even? So that was my only slight negative feel about the event, and I was a bit concerned about, although I was really excited about attending and obviously showcasing the walls to people in Sussex. So yeah, it was a case of just waiting to see, and unfortunately just on the build up to the day, my husband normally has his own business, he works in 6 days a week. He had plans in place to not work this Saturday so he could help at the show, but unfortunately a situation happened with staff where he couldn't actually take the day off. Now his shop is only works from 8 till 1 on a Saturday, so it's not too bad. The show was from 10 till around 4ish. So we got up super early so he could drive me there, because I don't drive. And also the marquee, even if I could drive, the gazebo was super heavy. I personally would have struggled to get it up. I would have really struggled with that. So he was really helpful in getting this, basically just erecting the gazebo for me, getting that up, which was super helpful. Apologies if you can hear any building work in the background. There's some building work going on outside at the moment, so if it's coming across on the video, apologies for that. So we were really lucky. There was literally a slot of weather where it was fine before it started raining, when my husband managed to get the gazebo up, and then he had to dash off to get to work. And literally as he left, the rain came pouring down, and at that point we hadn't put the side panels on it. It was just the actual, the roof of the gazebo and the stands, and it was really windy up there. So he'd also helped me put he'd put the banners up as well that we'd had pre-done before for the Carry On Crafting event. So yeah, he was super helpful with that, which was great. And off he went. And then the position we were in, I knew pretty quickly the wind would blow in on the stock, so I quickly got the side panels of the gazebo up, which was fine because they were velcroed, so it was literally just get them up and velcroed, and that then made a little cosy hub, and I just cable tied some edges to stop the wind and flapping around, and it was just a really nice cosy environment in there, and then I could easily put all the stock out without worrying about the rain blowing in on it, which was really, really good. And another lovely surprise from the organisers, which made us super happy, was the fact that they'd put our stand literally as you walk in up the event and up. We were right at the top, right next to where you walk through to go and see the sheep, all the different breeds of the sheep they had there. So it was like a perfect setting for us. I was so happy. I was actually then pleased we were outside, because initially I was apprehensive about being outdoors, especially with the weather, but once I cozied up the gazebo, and it was like lovely to be in there. And then you had the sheep literally on the side. It was amazing. It was such a nice surprise. But I'll just show you a little bit of the festival here so you can just see. I didn't manage to get a lot of footage taken, but so you can just see a brief overview of the Findon Sheep Fair here. So I'm all set up at Findon Sheep Fair, and it was really raining a moment ago, but now it's the weather's sort of brightened up just in time for the opening, so that's really positive. And yeah, I'm ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed that little small video. I know it was very brief. Unfortunately, I didn't personally get round to going around to filming, because you might have seen from one of the photos in that little footage I just showed you, the stand was really busy, quite a lot, and I just didn't get a chance to walk away from the stand at all in the end, which was lovely because I was just talking all things British wool. It was just really, really really popular. It was so nice to see all the people that turned out considering the weather. There were breaks in the rain which helped, I think. It wasn't constantly raining solidly all the time. So that, I think, did help. So people would come out and wander around in those breaks of the rain. And if they suddenly got caught, they could stand in the marquee as well, which was brilliant. But it was really popular. It was obviously the sort of perfect event for us, really, as traders for small flock yarns, because of the subject matter and what it was. And by all accounts, we were the only stall there that was selling wool. So all the knitters and crafters and crocheters were instantly drawn to the stand and quite excited by it because we had the wool, and they were like, oh, this is really lovely. And then when they knew the background, the story, they were so excited by it. And you know, a lot of people did buy from us because they wanted to do something with the wool and love the quality of it. So that was, and they love the natural colours. They couldn't believe the natural undye colours. Like, you could get that lovely cream and then the grey. They were super impressed by that, and they loved the alpaca blend one too. It was just really lovely. I had an amazing time, and the time went really fast. I didn't feel like I was there from 10 till 4 for hours, that I hadn't left the stand thinking, oh, I need to go do this. It was just really full on in a brilliant way. It was such a good atmosphere. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I was shocked when it was nearly over, and I looked at my watch and sort of saw people packing up. So, oh, it's after 4, you know, it's packing up time. Oh, wow, you know. I could have gone on for hours probably, right until the evening. It was just such good fun. Really, really enjoyed it. And, you know, my husband was able to join a bit later on after 1 o'clock. And then he went off to look around the sheep as well, which was lovely. It was really nice as well to show this book there. This was super popular. I sold a few of these there at the fair. People were loving the whole subject. Again, it was the perfect place for this kind of content. And I even found the book really helpful to use when I was there, because we had some farmers, there were some other smallholders that had sheep, and said, oh, I might have some fleeces for your small flock yarns business if you want to, you know, contribute towards the shearing costs. It's like, yeah, this is what we're about, this is what we do. And then they would say their breed of sheep, which wasn't a Romney, and I was instantly able to look in the sheep directory and go, will that work for worsted spun for what Roger does? How would this work for hand knitting wool? And it was just so helpful. I just found it so helpful. So we've made some contacts through the event. And yeah, watch this space. We might have some other British breed wools that we'll be producing, which is quite exciting. And also the show organisers, Graham and his wife, they were really enthused by the wool as well, and even asked my husband if he'd be interested in showing some of his Romneys next year at the event. So that was super exciting. And they even said, oh, you know, we could have a stall right in the sheep pens if we wanted, with all the sheep around us, which just sounded like so lovely. But as my husband found from looking around the event, not everybody actually goes into the sheep pens and looks at the sheep. They just go around the edge. So I think where we were was actually perfect for us, and I wouldn't necessarily want to move that position. So I think next year we would probably stay round there. And yeah, I'm ready to do that all again next year. You know, hopefully the weather might be nicer for everyone, but it was a super successful show. I had a brilliant time. My husband really enjoyed it once he finally got there, because he really did want to be there the whole day, bless him. But as we all know, life happens, and that's what it is. And, you know, his business needs to be his priority as well. So you can't just ignore that. So, and it was fine, because everything was all about the hand knitting, everything like that. So it was more my sort of area of it. You know, he's predominantly like the shepherd of the sheep, really looks after them. But it was nice. He got to just go and look at all the sheep and sit and chat to everyone about that, which was really good. All the other sort of sheep owners and smallholders, so that was lovely. And he did get time to walk around as well, because obviously, like I said, I was super busy, which was a great thing. So I didn't get a chance to walk around, as I said earlier, but he did, and he managed to get some local honey. You can see here, which was lovely, because there was all the local food produce there, so we could always do with honey, always using it in our cooking and everything. So This is Worthing honey from Worthing Beekeepers. So it was lovely that he was able to get that, which was great. So we had a great time. We're planning to do it again next year. So it'll be around, I think, the 12th of September. It's around that weekend, I think it will be. It'll be on the Saturday. I think it's currently still like a one-day event. So yeah, absolutely loved it. Perfect event for small flock yarn. So thank you if you've managed to stay to the end of this video and listen to me talk about the fair, more so than the actual footage of the fair, so apologies for that. I wish I'd had more footage, but like I said, I didn't quite anticipate how busy I would be on the stand, and that was an amazing feeling and an amazing thing to have, so it was great. But I still wanted to just do a video for this channel just to show you a little bit of what I did have on there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see any updates on what I'm doing with small flock yarns, then please feel free to follow this channel or subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And once again, thanks for watching.